Hello and welcome to Alive Soul podcast, where we explore personal growth, high performance, and intentional living. I'm Dr. Wasim Bellani, and I believe that life isn't just about going through the day, it's about becoming fully alive in everything we do. Through my journey as a doctor and heart rhythm cardiologist, and then through my exercise journey in cycling and running, and later in personal development and growth journey, I've learned that success isn't just about reaching goals, but about who we become along the way. This podcast is here to inspire and challenge you to push your limits, cultivate your discipline, and live with purpose. Join me each week as we dive into ideas, reflections, and practical strategies to help you grow into your best self. So let's get started. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Alive Soul podcast. Let me ask you this. Did you ever wake up in the morning and thought, I just need to go through today? Maybe it's going to be a busy day at work. Maybe you have too much on your plate. Maybe you're just exhausted or overwhelmed or simply not feeling yourself. So you tell yourself, just get through the day. Then tomorrow comes back and you say the same thing again. And soon enough, we're now trying to get through the week. Then we're waiting for the weekend. Then maybe we're trying to go through the month or through the season, waiting for the next vacation, the next break, or the next stage of life when things will hopefully slow down. And lately I've been thinking, what happens when getting through life, or what I call the survival mode, becomes that way we actually live our life? Because there's a big difference between surviving a difficult season and living permanently in survival mode. Because we're supposed to be thriving, not just surviving. Now, I want to be clear that survival mode is not always a bad thing. There are, of course, seasons in life when surviving is enough. Maybe you've lost someone you love. Maybe you're going through an illness, or a financial crisis, or just a very stressful period at work. And during those times, you might not need someone telling you to thrive, or optimize your morning routine, or pursue 10 goals and become the best version of yourself. And yes, sometimes you just need to make it through the day, and there's nothing wrong with that. See, human beings are remarkably resilient. When life becomes overwhelming, our minds and bodies have ways of protecting us. So we narrow our focus, we concentrate on what's immediately in front of us. And sometimes that's exactly what we need to do. But the problem isn't entering survival mode. The problem is getting stuck there. Because sometimes the crisis ends, but internally we're still living as if we are in one. And more than that, sometimes there wasn't even a major crisis to begin with. But life simply just became busy and exhausting. And slowly we started operating on autopilot. And as many of you do, I also catch myself doing the same thing sometimes, especially on busy work days. I sometimes look at everything ahead of me and think, okay, I just have to survive today. And maybe you've said something similar, like, I just need to make it to Friday, or I just need to get through this month, or I'll feel better once this project is over. Or maybe you'll say I'll relax after the kids are older, or I will enjoy my life when I retire. And as if there's always another finish line that we have to go to. And lately I've started questioning that way of thinking, because what exactly we're trying to get through? Because this is our life. That Tuesday we're trying to survive is part of our life. That busy morning is part of our life. Driving the kids somewhere, sitting in traffic, answering emails, eating dinner, or walking into work. All these moments are not interruptions between the important parts of life. They are our life. And if we're constantly waiting for some future moment before we allow ourselves to feel alive again, we may eventually realize that we spent years waiting. And that's exactly what concerns me about that survival mode, because it can quietly turn our life into something we endure rather than something we experience. And here's the tricky part. Survival mode doesn't always look dramatic. We could actually be living in it for years without realizing it. Sometimes it simply looks like going through the motions. We wake up, check our phones, get ready, go to work, complete whatever needs to be completed, come home, go to sleep, and repeat. You are functioning, you are responsible, you may even be accomplishing a lot, but internally you're disconnected. You're not really noticing much around you. You're always thinking about the next task, the next appointment, the next problem that needs to be solved. Even the things that should bring joy can start feeling like an obligation. Exercise becomes another item on the checklist. Dinner with family becomes something you squeeze between tasks. A conversation with someone you love happens while you're looking on your phone. You're physically present, but your mind is somewhere else. Okay, so why does this happen? Why do we get stuck in the survival mode? I think part of it is simply that pace of the modern life. There's always something asking for our attention: work, family, responsibilities, messages, emails, news, social media, appointments, bills, goals. Even our free time can become another opportunity to consume more information. And I think some of us almost becomes addicted to productivity. We start measuring a good day by how much we accomplished rather than by how well we lived that day. So how do we get out of survival mode? I don't think the answer is to quit our jobs, eliminate our responsibilities, or suddenly create a stress-free life. For most of us, that's not realistic. The first step is actually awareness, because only when you're aware that you're living in survival mode is when you try to come out of it. Pay attention to the language you use with yourself. If you keep saying, "I just need to get through today," pause for a moment and ask yourself, why am I trying to get through it? Is today really a crisis? Or is it simply a full busy day? Because there is a difference. A difficult day doesn't have to be a wasted day. A busy day doesn't have to be a day we don't experience and live well. The second thing we can do is to intentionally create moments of presence. And that could be really simple, like maybe enjoying drinking your coffee without looking at your phone and getting distracted. Or maybe taking a 10-minute walk outside and actually noticing what's around you. Or maybe sitting at dinner and really listening to your spouse or your children. Maybe slowing down during prayer instead of rushing through it. These things could look small, but I think that's exactly the point. Because you don't have to have extraordinary experiences to be thriving and to feel alive. And I think another powerful way to move out of survival mode is gratitude. Because when we're just trying to get through the day, our attention is usually focused on what's difficult, what's missing, or what still needs to be done. But gratitude shifts our attention towards what's already there. It doesn't mean pretending that life isn't hard. It simply means that even in a difficult or busy day, there may still be something worth appreciating, like a conversation with someone you love, or your health, or a meal with your family, or a quiet moment, or simply another day you've been given. Because sometimes the circumstances don't have to change for us to experience the day differently. Gratitude changes what we notice. It reminds us that even in the middle of a difficult or a busy day, there is still something good to appreciate. And as we come to a close, I want to come back to the question we started with. Have you been living in survival mode? And if you are, ask yourself whether you're really going through a season that requires it, or whether survival has simply become your habit. If you are in a truly difficult season right now, give yourself grace. Maybe getting through today really is enough. There are times in life when that's an accomplishment in itself. But if the storm has passed, or maybe there was never really a storm, don't keep living as if you're still trying to survive it. You don't need to wait for the weekend or the next vacation to feel alive. You don't have to just survive the busy workday or the busy season of your life. You can still find moments to thrive it, not just survive it. And remember, every effort you make, every habit you build, and every small step you take, it all adds up. So keep showing up, because the small steps you take today are shaping the person you become tomorrow.